Hi, good morning. Welcome back to our live session. So, we've concluded all the possible speakers we would be having on stage by the grace of God when TedX Mena comes on board. So, now we've moved up to the session where we'll be bringing in professionals from different sectors to discuss how the COVID-19 situation has affected them and as such. So today we'll be having the Chief Business and Strategy Officer of Bilad Realty join us to discuss the real estate sector. So for most of us in Abuja and environs, I'm sure you are aware Bilad Realty is a real estate company that I won't call them a new kid on the block per se, but when it comes to innovation, they are leading innovation in the estate sector. So that's why we decided to select them, because now it's no longer about brick and mortar again, it's more of technology in construction. Okay, so the CBSO is with us. Good morning, Mr. Umar.
Good morning.
Yes, nice to have you with us.
It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Okay, and congratulations, construction companies have been exempted from the lockdown starting tomorrow, I guess.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
It's definitely going to come with its own challenges, but then by God's grace, we'll see it through as best as we can.
okay. So first question, okay, for those viewing, we are going to have a 20 minutes discussion with Mr. Abdullah Umar, the CBSO for Bilad. Then we'll have 10 minutes. You send in your questions in the comment section. If you send it too early, we might not get a chance to read it. So the first question I have for Mr. Umar is, can we know who you are as Abdullah Umar and what the role of the Chief Business and Strategy Officer is? Your professional background.
Okay, so like I've already been introduced, I'm Abdullahi Umar. I had my first degree in Federal University of Technology, Mena. I graduated with BTech in Mathematics and Computer Science. I'm a certified project manager for under PMP for over a decade now. I have a master's in business administration. I have several certifications in public-private partnerships, as well as leadership and management. I've served in public and private sector across different entities, agriculture, planning and executive management as well. And as the chief business and strategy officer for Bilad Realty, my responsibility pretty much is just the outlook of the organization, brand perception, expanding business frontiers, making sure we look at what is going on in the market, how we provide our products, and what products we should provide based on the demand that exists within the market, integrating the different sides of the business from the technical side of things to the administrative sides, looking at collaborations externally with financial institutions, academic institutions, and the likes. So I think that's a general overview of what I do.
Okay, thank you very much. As I was saying before now, most people are used to the conventional construction companies of just blocks, cement, concrete, and co. But Bilad, I can remember, I think it was back in 2018 or 2017, suddenly we just saw Bilad billboards all over Abuja. So what's the history of Bilad? When did Bilad actually start and what's the purpose?
Bilad as a company were incorporated about 2.5 years ago in October of 2017. So we're pretty much a young organization, but then we have a lot of individuals who have vast experience within real estate. We like to make a clear distinction between real estate companies and construction companies, because real estate has to deal with the economics of development, while construction has to do with putting up structures. So we focus on the economics of development, which is pretty much trying to sell lifestyle. And
Yes.
when we came into the market, what we identified was that there were several challenges that a lot of individuals, those who have been into the home buying experience and those who are just about entering, had concerns about the issues that existed within the market at the time. I think 70% of those issues were centered on issues of quality of buildings,
Yeah.
as well as timeliness of delivery, looking at issues of poor communication between the developers or the contractors and the clients, as well amongst a lot of other things. So for us, we said we're going to come into the market and pay much more attention to what customers want, give people more communication, understand what exactly they want, and hopefully when we talk to them a bit more, they will understand those challenges that exist that deprive a house from being delivered as at when it's supposed to be, or how non-payment can equally influence you not getting your house at that time. Those who look at real estate as an investment or a possible investment, they would equally we would equally be able to work with them and see how we can help advise them on the best way to go about it. Our philosophy as a company is sustainability, and we interpret sustainability as in our own context. And our own context of sustainability is what's going to last long. So for the Nigerian, we look at it as sustainability means anything that you do that will leave more money in your pocket. So what type of lifestyle am I giving you that would keep more money in your pocket in terms of maintenance cost? So is your house energy efficient? Yes, that means you're going to save money. Do you have central gas to your home? Yes, that means you save money because you get dealership price. Do you have home automation? Yes, you do. Why? Because it's going to save you on energy bills. If you're not around, the lights switch off themselves and things like that. Then the general lifestyle of health. So you have issues of outdoor gyms and you have indoor gyms and making sure people keep fit, taking walks, sidewalks, incorporating all of those things that we believe should be standard in any development. We've had the opportunity, by God's grace, to travel outside the country. We've seen amazing things, how people live in other climes, developed countries. And we come back and we say, okay, why is this not obtainable in Nigeria? And the response you get is because it's Nigeria. And then we said, no, it's because it's Nigeria that we need to make these things happen. Because it's Nigeria, we need to make sure that we do the things that we're supposed to do to make our country, to make our company a reflection of what the future should be, because we believe this future that we're yearning about and complaining that things are not working the way they should, we have an immense responsibility to flip the coin. And that's what we're doing as Bilad Realty.
Okay, thank you very much. So part of what you said, more you focus more on lifestyle, and I believe lifestyle has been affected by COVID-19, the whole
Of course.
lockdown, the fear, and everything. So how has it affected your operations?
Well, right now, as with every other business, the lockdown instruction affected every business, apart from those who are under essential services from the onset, those in security, health, telecoms, and oil and gas, and the rest. So those essentials. But for construction, in the first phase of the lockdown, we did not form as part of essential services. So we had to cause all our development locations to be shut down. In fact, we actually closed our sites before the federal government instructed for the lockdown to happen, because it is important for companies to be responsible. And responsibility means you focus on your employees first, because without your employees, you're not going to have a company, and their safety is a priority in all ramifications. So what we've been doing from the time of lockdown till date is pretty much leveraging on platforms like Zoom and Skype and other platforms, other tools, Microsoft Teams, to interact and collaborate. Very interestingly, even before this lockdown, we had always operated on an enterprise resource platform. So we've not have the challenge, we didn't face the challenge of we don't have access to customer information or contact details or anything like that. We've had our system running. So it's something that we believe every other company should adopt as well. So we have, even right now, we have access to our company information without having to go to the hard files in the office. On our sites, we have live feed cameras. So our clients in diaspora and those in Nigeria are able to see work on site, as it were. And right now, you would just see that the sites are empty. And what we do is we still maintain our routine meetings weekly or every other day, dependent on as a unit per unit level and divisional level. And for us at the C-suite, we have meetings every day. So a specific time we hop onto our systems and we discuss for an hour or two on how we're going to respond to this challenge that we're all faced with. And we've come up with what we call our business continuity plan. And we've even advised for other companies to equally come up with their business continuity plans, because the world as we know it has changed forevermore. Yes. It may never return back to what it was before. So for us, we're taking it as the new reality. And even as of yesterday, we've already taken a decision that, look, we're asking ourselves, do we still need the amount of space that we occupy in the office? If we have already gotten to have weekly meetings, that means location doesn't matter as much. Yes. So we've strengthened performance management systems, focus on deliverables and action plans, and get the system moving. Mm-hmm. So these are the things that we have been focusing on. It has affected us. I think another thing that it's going to do for a lot of organizations, including ourselves, is that it's going to put more pressure on individuals to provide value.
Yes.
So if you don't have value, or you automatically become redundant. So where people had engaged you on the strength of your providing a service, so maybe it's to prepare memos or to do certain things. Now, the moment things move online, you find that those guys don't become relevant anymore. So the demand for everybody right now is to showcase that you have value to offer, show that you are relevant and you can add value to the organization so that you can retain your employment.
Yes.
And right now around the world, we can see that there's a lot of retrenchment going on. And some companies are going as much as either sacking people or are readjusting their emoluments so that the companies can survive the uncertainty that exists. So we are studying what is going on in the market, the utterances of government, international communities. We're updating ourselves as much as we can, and we're positioning ourselves to respond as best as possible to the situations.
Okay, so that's very nice to hear that you're already ahead of time compared to most other organizations. Like I said in the beginning, when it comes to innovation, your company, from what I've seen online and read, your company is top notch. So my question now is, before COVID, how lockdown proof was your house? Were your houses? Issue of artificial intelligence, internet.
Please say that again.
Okay, I said before the lockdown, your home designs, how were they able to cope with the lockdown? Because you have houses now that have the fridges can tell when the milk is down, when they are out of meat, place orders and co. So are you moving towards artificial intelligence, Internet of Things and co with your houses?
Interestingly, even before the lockdown, our homes have been equipped with what we call home automation, and in other climes they say smart homes. We believe right now, in fact, for a very long time, internet had no longer been a luxury; it's a necessity. And within our communities, we have fiber optic connectivity. We've partnered with Suburban Telecoms, Legend, to provide fiber to home solutions, which basically we're leveraging on in the way of offering residents an opportunity to gain access to the World Wide Web as much as all other services that are available. So just the same way we have connected the homes, that's how our offices are connected as well. Now, what this does is that it actually provides a benefit. And I suggest that every other business who is not doing it yet should start doing it now. Get connected to a fiber backbone, because the possibility is that you can now have your partner create a virtual private network, which would allow you to communicate with your server locally. So wherever you are hosting your website or you're hosting your enterprise resource platform, bring it back to Nigeria, bring it back to the servers here in Nigeria. And you can now operate on a virtual private network, which you would not be paying for internet service because you're not using the internet when it comes to your business. But when you want to access your mails and other things, then you can now access the internet. And so that means you're going to be saving money. And this is the direction that we have taken already. So for us, we position ourselves to be leading, and being leading means we want to be able to share the things that we do as a possible opportunity for others to learn and grow their own organizations as well. Our homes, like I said, come with fiber to the home. Now, right now, what's going to happen is that personally, within this lockdown, I've spent 1.5 times more money on energy. So I'm more incentivized to buy a house that is energy efficient. Because with the light bulbs being energy efficient and home automation incorporated into that house, it means I'm going to save on energy in comparison to somebody who doesn't have their homes energy efficient ready.
Yeah.
Those who are leveraging on solar, because in our homes we have solar water heaters, which reduces your demand for energy for heating water. We have solar inverters incorporated as well, which reduces your demand on direct grid electricity. So all of these solutions are geared in a way that the focus is on the homeowner. For us, it's not all about making money. It's all about giving people the convenience, showing people how to live like a rock star, even if you don't think you're the richest person on earth. So artificial intelligence still for homes is pretty much smart homes and home automation. It is not COVID-19 that caused us to look at home automation. In fact, I must tell you that we've been collaborating with NESP, that's Ministry of Power and Housing, with GIZ, the German development partner, in trying to see how we can make our homes energy efficient. We've sent them our designs of all the house types that we develop, and all of them came back green as energy efficient, apart from just one. And that one, our technical team is already working on their recommendations to see what we can do to push forward. So we've opened up these collaborations in a way that it goes beyond the money component. It's about teaching people the importance of spending slightly more now to save on operations or maintenance costs moving forward. Because you're going to spend more time at home now. You're going to spend more on internet now. So you need to take decisions that would help you manage those costs as they come through. And these are things that we have already factored into our homes and factored into our business operation or operations approach for people. So if you're working with us, you can be rest assured that we have your best interest at heart.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, so for those viewing, you can start asking your questions in the comments and the CBSO would answer. So let me start by my own question. You've worked in agriculture before. Have you considered incorporating agriculture into your homes? That's having like maybe aquaponics system. So I don't have to leave the house to get fish. I don't have to leave the house to get my vegetables and co. So in a situation where there is a total lockdown, I can still eat while surviving in your homes.
We don't pray that this lockdown or this pandemic will get to a point where it will be that severe that people would not be able to go out. Already, our communities, the greening, because in all our communities we have green areas. And in those green areas, we have automated irrigation systems where we've installed drip lines that come on and go off at set times during the day, so that the grass remains green throughout the year. And it reduces maintenance costs, it reduces the labor required to keep it green. So all they will be focusing on is cutting it. Now, it's a very easy extension to have it incorporated for vegetables. Vegetables like lettuce, mint leaves, celery, all those little consumables that one could use. But when it comes to fish, for fish, you really it needs to be pushed away from residential areas because it comes with a kind of stench, which you can disturb your neighbors. And for a communal living setting, you don't want that type of aura within the homes. One thing, I think this has just pointed to something that we're actually doing, where in our homes, for the locations that we have to create what they call sewer treatment plants, we're actually integrating biodigesters. These biodigesters are going to pull together the waste that is produced from the houses in terms of the human waste, and then it's going to create organic fertilizer, which we're now going to use and plow back onto our green areas. So we are going to leverage and partner with companies that are into container farming, because it already exists. These are hydroponic systems which are portable and can be used, because now it's pretty much there's a lot of opportunity for vertical farming.
Yeah.
And these are areas that we are definitely going to look at. And it's all about the lifestyle. So like I said from the beginning, we're in the business of lifestyle, how people are going to live, how it's going to be convenient for them. So yes, if we do get to that requirement to incorporate a backyard garden for people, it's something that can be done without a doubt.
Okay.
And done very, very well.
Okay. Thank you very much. So let the questions flow in for the CBSO. Okay. Pending when we get the question, let me ask. You schooled in Mena, and I'm sure
Yes.
you visit Mena often.
Yes.
So what changes have occurred in Mena from your school days to date?
What? Say that again.
What changes have occurred in Mena or Ninja in general from your school days to date?
From my school days, I would say that at the time I was in Mena,
yes,
there was only one dual carriageway,
okay,
which was from Boso to City Gate.
Yes.
After I left Mena, I think that was in 2006. Mena right now, I think, has more than one dual carriageway. And it has many more enlightened people, and development has happened. It may not have happened as quickly as I thought it should, but then I believe it's not the same as what it was back in 2006 and 2005. It's not the same. It has changed. It has grown. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
It has grown.
Okay, so this one is just from my own end. Can Bilad actually maybe do a business case or something? You do, since more people will be working remotely, so not everybody has to live in Abuja. Why not do a business case for a development within Niger? Then maybe you can now partner with somebody to provide a train facility or things like that. I'm just exploring opportunities for my own community, how we can benefit.
I must tell you that already we've written to FUT Mena
Okay.
for university industry collaboration.
Okay.
We're very passionate about interacting with lecturers, bringing them to the field, let them see what we're doing on site. Let us use that to improve curriculum back in the university. Let us use the monies that we have when we need to do research and development. We'll put that money back into the schools, get the students to do the research. All those research projects, the thesis, dissertations that they're doing, they should be solving real life problems. This is how the great Silicon Valleys and the rest came about. It's about going back to the institutions, the engines of innovations, which are universities, and pulling their resources and getting their lecturers to think about solving problems. So this is a step that we've already taken. We're looking at after this, with this easing of the lockdown, hopefully we should have physical meetings or interactions, or hopefully maybe it will even be over the internet with them to see how best we can now commence the process. But the whole idea is that there are like 4 or 5 different focal areas: curriculum development, employment opportunities, research and development, and then promotion of startups. So where there's good ideas that come up from students or the likes, you find angel investors and bring it together and make it happen. So these are things that we're doing at that level. Now, in terms of partnering either with individuals or the government to provide housing solutions, I've been opportune to work closely with the Niger State government some years ago. And particularly, it was even in the area of housing. I had knowledge of the Talba Housing Estate, the Wushishi, MI Wushishi Estate as well. And we are in discussions even right now with one of the representatives of Niger State, the House of Assembly members here in Abuja, regarding the possibility of providing some form of housing solutions there in Niger State. I think the key thing is all about understanding the products that can be delivered, understanding the income levels of people, and people understanding what exactly they should afford, or what they can afford and what they should go for. So once we strike a balance, it's something that we're definitely going to do by God's grace.
Okay, thank you very much. So we have our first question from Elfa Bulos. Do you have opportunities for internship?
Yes, we do. So for anybody who's interested in internship with us, can simply send us an email through info@biladnigeria.com. Our internship is in high demand, so therefore it is based on space availability. One thing that we make sure with our NYSC core members, as well as those who are undertaking internship for either SciWes or internship, meaning you've graduated from university before your service, you just want somewhere that you can gain experience. It is based on availability across our divisions. So be it that you're an admin student, administrative student, or you're an accountant, or you're in marketing or business development, or you're a technical student, we have opportunities. But then I must tell you that we treat everybody like an employee. So you can't come in and think that you would not be tasked with responsibility. In fact, you may likely read more than when you were in school. So you just have to be ready for that.
Okay.
So the answer is yes, and we'll be looking forward to your email and your CV. But just be patient with us, because we do receive a lot of requests for internship.
Okay, thank you. So the next question from Kike: what is the price range of the houses that you sell, like a 4-bedroom house?
What is the price range?
Yes.
I think right now, this platform might not be the best to speak about price range.
Yeah.
It will be better for you to contact us either via our website let us take you through. We have investment advisors who will be able to take you through the different property types that we have, show you the difference in locations and what works best for you. Because one thing that we like to do is we like to understand what people's budgets are. So with your budget, we'd be able to advise you on how best to go about securing your future home. Sometimes you will find that your dream home can't be afforded right now, but it does not stop you from investing in real estate and then exiting to grow that your money. And then you can now afford the dream home that you wanted to buy in a few months or a few years from now. So I think the best way to get information about our products is either give us a call or send us an email, and I assure you we will respond to you as soon as we can. Hopefully within 24 hours you should hear from us.
Okay, your company doesn't have provision for virtual tours, maybe using augmented reality and co?
We have incorporated that on our website already. So we have some the virtual tour components right now. We've done like a 3D guide that goes through some of our completed properties. And beyond that, for us, it's not just about looking at pictures and images and walkthroughs. You really do need to interact with people, because what we've noticed over the last 24 months is that people have a misconception about what is possible. A lot of our existing clients right now initially felt, they couldn't afford to buy a home. But when we explained how it works, the process and procedure, it became easier for them to key in, and they're undertaking the process. So allow us to enlighten you about real estate. Allow us to enlighten you about our products. Allow us to enlighten you about investing as well in real estate. Don't just take the words of anyone and think that that's what real estate is about. Because unfortunately, right now, there's a lot of bad blood when it comes to real estate. A lot of people have had their fingers burnt. So they'll be like, oh, everybody is the same. You take they'll take your money and you won't see anything. For us, it's different. We're changing that approach from when you buy a property. The day you select that you want to purchase a property from us, on the site plan, you will identify the unit that you want, and it's representative of what is on ground, on the plot itself physically. So it's providing greater transparency to how things are done. So I hope that answers the question.
Okay, thank you. So the next question is, what duration does it take for completion of your infrastructure?
What
duration does it take for completion of your infrastructure?
Infrastructure is a component of the entire project. Now, the way we deliver our projects is in phases. So we do the project in phases to ensure that it is a bit more manageable, and we can equally manage the expectations of clients. So the infrastructure, usually all dependent on how it is carried out. It's either carried toward the end of the project or early on in the project. And it is determined by the extent of work that needs to be implemented. So I can't give you a fixed timeline to tell you, oh, infrastructure takes 1 week, or infrastructure takes 10 weeks, or it takes 7 weeks. It's all dependent on the level of work, which for us, we have a very strong project management office that handles those components of a program of work, timelines, schedules, and variances and all of those things. And right now, with this whole pandemic and what we're faced with, a lot of the logistics is going to be affected. So it's going to realign the way we're going to do work. So things might change, but we don't know how yet. So we'll keep our eyes open. And for the person that wants to know more about how long it takes infrastructure, please come for a one-on-one conversation or call us, and we can link you up with one of our technical people that can answer more specifically to the questions that you want answered. I think we'll be happy to do that. So feel free to send us an email, please.
Okay, thank you. So we have Jalaluddin. How vital were venture capitals and private equity firms to your growth?
How what?
Vital were venture capitals and private equity firms to your growth?
I would say that venture capitals and private equity funds are a crucial entity in any business development. The extent to which you leverage on them is subject to how you've planned your growth. For us as Bilad, we've been able to adapt a fair gearing ratio where we manage the exposure of our company in terms of how much money we're using as leverage versus how much money we're able to generate from the open market. And this for us is able to manage how well we can deliver on the projects that we're implementing within the stipulated timelines that we're supposed to do that. So I will tell you that venture capitals are important. We need more of them because there is a lot of uncertainty within the market right now. One thing that we always battle with when it comes to venture capitals is managing their expectations. So where a lot of people feel real estate is a place to make huge sums of money, but with the demand that exists and the amount of the expectation that they want on a 12-month calendar, some of these things are going to change. We may likely need long-term finances right now more than ever. And investors would need to be much more patient in respect to how the market is unfolding at the moment. These are things that I hope that the person asking the question is a venture capital and owns a private equity firm, because we would love to have a conversation and see how we can create a sustainable product and sustainable products that they would see that is worth their while, because Nigeria has huge opportunities. Huge opportunities. Yes.
Okay, so the next question from Kiarami. Let me just summarize the question. How have you been tackling the issues of telcos and ISPs in your smart home systems?
Now, like I mentioned earlier, we part, and this fiber company basically they have other partnerships with telecom companies to provide internet service as internet service providers. Now, yes, there is our infrastructure as internet and telecom providers is not where it's supposed to be, but then it's not as bad as people think. In fact, I can tell you that it's very good. The internet, our internet partner, Legend Suburban, a few days ago, I was downloading at 20 megabits per second. And that's very good by any standard anywhere in the world. So it's you wouldn't know it unless you try it. And I think the more people that are able to latch onto the fiber networks, the more pressure they would have to reduce the cost per month or the subscription costs. So it's because there are fewer people on the backbones. That's why the price point might be a bit stiff or steep, but the more people are subscribing, they're incentivized to make the costs lower or the price lower. So for the fiber to home and the home automation system, they work hand in hand. It would be a waste of time and money for us to make a home smart and then not have fiber internet to that home, because the type of internet you need for a home automation system to be effective needs to be fiber. You wouldn't work on a router like a Smile router or SpectraNet. It won't give you the type of response that you need. It needs to be fiber. I hope that answers the question.
Okay, thank you. So the next question from Machido Atahiru. What do you have with respect to the maintenance and replacement of facilities such as inverter, solar panels, security gadgets, etc., in order to continue singing sustainability?
Okay, so right now, what we've done is that we have incorporated, we have a partner, a facility management company by name Comservos. And what we're doing with that partner is basically working out a sustainability plan. And in this, we sit down with clients, homeowners, and say, look, you've spent X amount of money to buy this property. Now, just the same way you would have a car, when you buy a car and that car comes with a manual in the glove compartment, our homes come with a homeowner's manual. And it indicates all the components of installation. So how your bathtub has been installed, the waterproofing, where you need to do caulking, your kitchen equipment, the routine maintenance that you undertake. And our partner Comservos is working closely with other vendors and partners who are providing these routine maintenance services. So for instance, I'll pick on one of the specific things he mentioned. So the inverter, for instance, and solar panels. Our partner in that area, we have an understanding with them that the life cycle of the batteries is between 3 to 5 years. They're going to buy back those batteries from the owners, and they will top up, and then there would now be a replacement. Now, to have this top up, we're working closely with an asset replacement company. Now, this asset replacement company is a fund management company called 117. Now, 117 has prepared a package for us in a way that they would now advise clients, we would advise our clients to say, bring out, if it's 5,000 naira, 10,000 naira per month. They would now invest that money on a monthly basis so that it grows. And at year 3 or year 5, they're just bringing new batteries. They're knocking your door and they're bringing new batteries to your doorstep. The panels, thankfully, panels have a lifespan of 20 to 25 years. So it's going to take a longer depreciation time to have that done. For security gadgets, there's what we call service charge and infrastructure lease charge. These are monies that are used to ensure routine maintenance and effective or optimized use of these assets. So we'll be maintaining the assets so that you can continue to enjoy your home sustainably. So these are the things that we've worked on and we're working on at the moment. So we always believe strongly in collaborations.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes.
So the next question from Solid 280. Considering the problem of water supply to homes in Nigeria, how has Bilad taken care of this in a sustainable manner?
Water supply?
Yes.
So water supply so far, in all the locations that we have, there is good water supply from waterworks in the FCT for the locations that we have. Now, in locations that would have challenges in relation to water, the only other alternative pretty much is sinking of boreholes. Now, the strategy of sinking of boreholes, at the end of the day, it's supposed to, there's a certain distance that one borehole should be between one and the next. Now, we are equally mindful of that, in addition to incorporating reservoirs that would ensure that when there is a break in available water, there is at least some backup that can cover for residents maybe a day or 2 or 3 days before the main line is restored. What we try to do, and what all of us should try to do, is that we need to put more pressure on government, because what we're doing as real estate developers is that we're investing monies in infrastructures that should be the responsibility of government.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't roll on the ideology that it is okay. while we're doing it now, we're only doing it as a temporary solution till when the government is able to step up to its game. But it's not going to stop us from putting pressure on the right quarters so that we can have constant availability of water, we can have constant availability of electricity, and availability of even gas and any other thing that is required to have a convenient and good quality lifestyle.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. For those viewing, I think we're just going to answer the remaining questions, so no need to post any new questions because Instagram will soon throw us out. If you have further questions, you can actually send a direct message to Bilad or send them an email. I'm sure they will route it to Mr. Abdullahi Umar. So the next question we have from Waz Aliu. What's the delivery timeline for a house?
Say that again. What is
the delivery timeline for a house?
Typically before COVID-19, and I'm saying this clearly, before COVID-19, our delivery duration is between 18 and 24 months. Now, this is all subject to how well we're able to create financial leverage and clients are able to meet up with their own payments. Because to reduce the cost or price of the houses, we try to leverage on what we call off-taker financing. So we would give you a staggered payment plan over an 18-month period where you would pay. And as you pay, we're developing so that we don't go and borrow money and then use it for the development, which when we now come back to sell the house to you, we're selling it at a premium to cover for the cost of funds that we went to get. So to reduce the impact of that, we do what we call off-taker financing. Now, in that regard, if for any reason, any off-taker fails to meet the timeline of their payment, then it is definitely going to have an impact on how soon that project can be delivered. So it's basically, we're always in a balancing act where we're trying to manage how cash flow through the project works, to manage procurements and our supply chain to make sure that everything works well.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
The Kafaya and SU Maigari, your questions have been answered previously. We'll leave this video up for 24 hours on our page. You can play back after to get answers to your questions. Kafaya was asking about hydroponics. SU Maigari, work/office in the home design. So, okay. The next question from Asha. How can I approach Bilad to become a supplier to your company?
Through our website. Just communicate us on our website. We'll send you a vendor form at no cost. You fill it in, tell us what you do, attach your company profile. You receive a call, we'll be shortlisted, and whenever we have something for you to do, we'd reach out to you. But we are very, very particular about quality. We're very, very particular about price, because we're doing negotiations on behalf of the clients who are buying our homes. So we're very tough in that area because we want to be able to give the best deal to the customers that are buying our homes.
Okay, thank you. So the next question, do you have or are you considering developing budget products for homeowners in states outside Abuja?
So developing outside Abuja?
Yeah, budget products outside Abuja.
Right now, what budget properties, we're going to look at, we're currently looking at alternative building technologies. The problem that we have majorly in Nigeria is that we're averse to other building technologies. So if it's not brick and mortar, nobody wants to buy it. We're very scared of it. And unfortunately, there's only so low you can go with the current building technology. The cost of land would be cheaper there, but then the cost of infrastructure and other things equally play a part. So our team is still looking at it closely. We're in discussion with partners in terms of how best to provide something that is worth living, because we will not engage in substandard developments. We don't believe it is right for you to buy a home, a brand new home, and still have to invest money to keep it standing under the guise of affordable housing. That doesn't make any sense anywhere in the world. And we do not want to be a part of anything that is related to that by any means.
Okay, so the next question from Black Bologi. When is Bilad coming to the Southwest to provide them with smart homes?
We in fact, funny enough, before this process, we've already started looking at locations in Lagos, to be specific. We've started looking at a number of sites in Lagos. We intend, if things work well, we might be in Lagos before the close of 2020. If it doesn't, we'll just push that to maybe first quarter or second quarter of 2021 by God's grace. So we're actively on it.
Okay, thank you very much. So those are all the questions we'll take. It has been a very interesting discussion with you. Thank you for being on our platform.
Thank you so much. I think I just want to leave a comment with everyone.
Yes.
I think it's a common saying. They say, buy real estate and wait. Don't wait to buy real estate. Don't think that this COVID-19 period is a time where you should not invest your money. Don't eat through your savings. Invest it in something that you know will provide you security for the future. And one of those things is a home. And we provide some of the best homes that you can get out there. One of the solutions for COVID is sit at home. So that means you need a home to start with. And those are the things that we provide. Speak to us, send us an email, let's chat, let's talk, and let's make your future home one of the best you ever imagined. Thank you so much,
Thank you
TedX
very
Mena,
much
for having me. Sincerely appreciate the opportunity.
We look forward to having you in Mena, and that's where we'll disturb you. Your company has to do something for us in Niger State.
We'll be happy to do it. Like I said, we're already talking to FUT Mena. So we have almost 15 graduates from FUT Mena in Bilad.
Oh, okay.
So it's not a small number. So Mena is home. We have some of our staff right now that are undertaking their masters in Mena.
Okay. And part of the things we are doing is also partnerships and co. One of our speakers, Hamza Yunusa, I think he's a water technology expert. I think partnering together would be nice. So Hamza, if you are watching, please send Bilad an email. But I'll still message him privately to send you an email and discuss how I think they do smart water meters, leakage detection system, things like that. So that will come in handy.
That would be nice.
Yes.
That would be nice. That would be nice.
Okay. So thank you very much.
Nice. Thank you so much. Been a pleasure.
Bye.
And bye, everyone. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here.
Okay, so for all of us still watching, that was Mr. Abdullahi Umar, the Chief Business and Strategy Officer, Bilad Realty. It has been a very wonderful discussion discussing about real estate, smart homes, and all that. This video will still be up for the next 24 hours, and it will be up permanently on our Facebook page, TEDx Mena. So our next session will be on the 5th of May with Jide of St. Ola. He's a beauty influencer and where we'll be discussing about the makeup industry and beauty sector. Weddings have not been happening, things like that. So let's hear how the lockdown has affected that sector also. Thank you all very much. Have a lovely day ahead. Stay safe, stay home.